Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought I would do today is do this Christmas tree stackable jar mold. So I have 23 grams of resin in here. I have not mixed this up yet. It is 11 grams of part A and 12 grams of part B. And I'm going to use this Cairo Yellow from iCandy, which I do have a 10% off discount code for iCandy if you use any of their products that I will flash up on the screen, and it will be in the description box. Now let's see, I don't think I've ever used this. I hope it's not got hard on me, because it very well may have. I know on the lid it has. But okay, it's good. It's very thick. It's like a neon paste of theirs. So I'm going to use that to fill that star up down in there. And then we'll come back once it's cured enough and fill up the rest. My room's a little bit cold this morning, so let's just stir this a little here. It doesn't look like it had separated any, so I think it'll be okay. But I'm also going to use that Gold Super Sparkle there by Color Passion and put a little sparkle in that, because usually these neon pastes are translucent. So just going to use that. That's on the stick. Move that out of the way. Let's get a little of this Gold Super Sparkle. I don't want a lot. I just want a little bit there. I'm probably putting too much, but we'll see. You never know until you try it. Alright, let's mix this up and see what we've got. I may add a little mica powder to it as well if I think it's too translucent. Okay. Let me scrape the paste off. That is a thick paste. I've got way more than what I need. Get it mixed up down in there. I think I'm going to leave it like it is. It is translucent, but I like it. And it's going to be the star of our tree, so I want it to shine bright. Okay. Can I see my Gold Super Sparkle? That's my next question. Yeah, I see it in there. Alright guys, I'm going to finish mixing this, and then we'll be back in just a minute to see if we can get it down in that star without getting it everywhere else. Okay guys, so I got this out of the debubbler. Now let's see. I think I'm going to spritz a little alcohol down in there. Now if I can hold still enough to pour this. Yep, I got it everywhere. I'll have to peel that off after it cures, or I can try to do it beforehand. We're just going to do that there. The star is almost full. So let me just pour a little more down in here. It's kind of blowing around. Okay. Alright. Our star is full. So I'll let the rest of that cure up, and then I'll peel it off with some tape before we do our next layer. Okay. And it may, if you spritz it with a little alcohol, sometimes that'll help it to kind of drain. Alright, what can we do with our yellow? Let's do some little butterflies. I haven't done little butterflies in a while. So I do need some yellow ones. Where's my little tiny, like these little sticks. Now I've got enough of this to do something else as well. But I do want to get a few butterflies. Usually 2 drops will fill these up. I have noticed that one that I bought has little tiny butterflies and it takes 1 drop. And then the ones that I've bought since then have these bigger butterflies, not much, and they take 2 drops. Okay. I at least want to fill up one of these, and then we'll do a little turtle. Or you know what, I've got another mold I want to try out as well. We might do a little bit in that. Not quite sure yet. But I do want some yellow butterflies for my bucket. I like to put these in shakers. Okay. Now, where's that other? I got this from Amazon. I can open it here. And it's little pendants, like little druzy pendants. So you can do earrings or necklaces, and I think they're really cute. I liked them when I saw them. So I want to do these 2 little tiny ones. I'm probably going to turn them into some earrings because they're not very thick. They shouldn't be very heavy. Give this one another little drop. Let me look down here and see. Yeah, I believe we can use a little more here. Ooh, I kind of went overboard, didn't I? Batting as well. Okay, there we go. They're good. I think those will make cute little pendants. I'll have to trim them up because I used too much alcohol. All right, now, let's see. Don't really... I wonder if I can dry some of that alcohol up where I can clean them up a little bit. If you use too much alcohol, then it causes them to break their barrier and they overflow, and now they're going to be connected if I don't straighten that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape this and see if I can get some of that out, and then I might, here in a few minutes, dome it back if I need to. Okay, there we go. That's going to save me on cleanup for sure. Get all that alcohol off. Now I can put a drop on them and dome them back. There. Now they should stay. Ooh, about lost my pen. Alright, now let's do a turtle. Y'all know this is my favorite turtle. We could do a matching pendant for those earrings, couldn't we? I don't really have one that's going to match, but we could do one that would be similar. It's not really any that's that kind of shape. I'm kind of liking this one up here. Okay. You know what? I'm going to dry that off around it and just leave what alcohol has got down in it. I'll do it a matching paint it. Almost. I want to dome this up as well, but I don't want to overdo it. I think you can use one more drop. Come on, drip drop. Okay, there we go. Now we'll do those earrings and pendants. Now, most of that's drizzled down in there. So let's get this little turtle here. And do the same thing, wipe around the top and get that alcohol off. And I may not have enough to fill him completely up. So he's going to get some other colors later on. Maybe when we do our next layer. Because I plan on filling that Christmas tree up with white. Because it looks like there's snow on it. And then we can paint the green parts after. With some paint pens, I think. I think that would look really, really pretty. I hope. Anyways, that's my plan. Let me clean this off. Now, see what we can scrape out of here. That's a really pretty yellow. Which, of course, I'm going to say that about yellow, right? Since yellow and green are my favorite colors. I love anything yellow and green. Maybe it's a subconscious thing with being more warm weather with green and yellow. Because I am always cold. I have an electric blanket I keep on my bed year round. And I do keep it turned on all year. And if I'm not in my bed then, and I'm sitting in my recliner, I have a electric throw. And my mother-in-law had got me one for Christmas last year. And it had messed up the other day. So you better believe I was on Amazon ordering me a new one. Because I like to froze to death. My son and husband keep my house at 68 degrees. And tell me I'm not allowed to touch the thermostat. I'm only allowed to pay the bill. Which I don't think is a fair deal. Alright, let's see if we can get that to go up the leg. Alrighty, guys. We're going to let that cure up, and then we'll come back for our second layer. See you guys then. Alright, guys. So, the yellow has cured up enough that I can put my next color. I'm going to try this Royal White from Dianca Pours. I've got 10 ounces of resin here. I haven't mixed it yet. I know I'm going to need 20, so I figured I would do 10. Get it in the vacuum chamber, and get the bubbles out, pour it, and then we'll mix up 10 more. Because it's the only way I know how to not mix up too much at a time and have it flash cure on me. So I'm just going to do a couple of scoops of this down in there and see how this looks. I hope it's a white. I want a white Christmas tree because it looks like it's got snow on it, and I can paint the green in after if I want to, or however I want to do it. Okay. Whites always have that silvery look. But this one seems to be a little more white than silver, so I think I'm going to be happy with it. Okay. Alright, it still has that silvery look, I think. Oh well. I'm going to get this mixed up. I did 2 scoops, so we'll do 2 scoops in the next one. So, guys, I'm going to get this mixed, get it in the vacuum chamber. We'll be back to pour in just a moment. Alrighty, guys, I've got my resin out of the debubbler. Let's spritz some alcohol down in there, because I've heard that this mold is very difficult and gets a lot of bubbles under these little pieces here, and I can see how that happens. All right, this is our 10 ounces. Can you guys see me pouring that? I bet my hand's in the way, isn't it? I'm trying to be more cautious of how I'm angling. Alrighty. Figured we'd do this one first since it holds the most. Okay. Now we've got to get some bubbles out, so I'm just going to put a little more in there, because every one of those are big bubbles. Alright. This whole thing is a bubble. Oops. So I'm going to see if I can do it this way. I'm going to hold and I'm going to press. And hopefully the bubble comes out. You can't really see if the resin's going up in there or not. Okay, I hope I've got that one. Next one. I can see the bubble moving back and forth. That's so funny. Okay. I know it's bubbles down in there. There we go. And I can actually see them moving. Ooh. Overflowed it. Oh, there's a big bubble came out. There's a bubble. There's a bubble. I wonder if I were to... I know I just created a bubble down in there. Oops. I'm going to have this everywhere, aren't I? Okay, let's put some more in there. Where's my little... Okay. I'm going to put some more. Oops, I didn't mean to keep pouring. I was trying to stop. Okay. Now, wonder if I can... There we go. There's a couple of bubbles. Will it pop? Where is this? Come on, pop. There we go. Pull them over here to the center. So I know we're going to have a lot to clean up on this thing. Because I know there's going to be a lot of bubbles in there still. It'd be nice not to have any. But I just doubt it. Okay. Ooh, there's some big ones. There's another one. And every bit of that would be missing resin. grab a hold of it. Okay, guys. There's another. I gotta try to pop him. There we go, because I don't want him to go back down in there. There's a little bubble there. Here's one. Yeah, this thing is going to be... Shoosh. Now let's see if we can just kind of, if there's any left that we can just kind of work out maybe. Okay, there's a couple. All right. That's the last thing I'm going to do to try to get these bubbles out, because I feel like they're just kind of moving around if they are down in there. Oh, there was one, wasn't it? Okay, last time around. Yep, there's Bubble. Okay. I can't tell if there's any more or not. Alright guys, I think that's the best I'm going to be able to get this. So if there are bubbles, we'll have to fill them in after. So I think I've done the best that I can. Okay. Clean this up because we're going to have to do this with every single piece. Now, I could spritz a little alcohol. The bubbles that were still in there. Okay, and we're just going to finish filling this up. This bottom one holds quite a bit. Like I said, I mixed up 10 ounces, and I think he can hold just a little more. Okay, I don't want to push it. All right. Now, hopefully my yellow is cured up enough. We're going to dump the rest of this right down in this one. Okay, scrape this cup because we're going to mix up 10 more ounces the same way. Okay. Almost. Try to get everything out of here that I can. Alright guys, I've got everything out of there I think that I could possibly get. So I'm going to mix up 10 more ounces. with 2 scoops of mica powder, the exact same way we've already done. I'm going to get it in the debubbler, and I'll be back to pour in just a moment. Alrighty guys, so I got the rest of my resin mixed up, got it out of the debubbler. I'm going to spritz some alcohol down in these both. Now, I'm not going to get this one all the way full, but I don't want to leave all the resin in this cup because of it can flash cure. So I'm going to have to get bubbles out of this one. So we're going to just fill it up under there. Now we're going to do this one first, because we know we're going to have to work these bubbles out. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Now let's see. Hopefully this one's not as bad as the other. How can I do this? I wonder if I can grab a hold of it like I did that one and then push. I see bubbles down in there, but I also see them going to the side. Do you see it moving? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to just try to pull them out. This one's a bit harder. It's harder to grab a hold of. So I can see those bubbles there. There's a big one like right here. There we go. And there's one. I can still see one down in here. But like I said, they're moving to the side. I think I need to put a little more resin down in there now. Got a couple of bubbles out, so it took some of the resin, so put a little more. Okay. Now we gotta see if we can get some more of these bubbles out. Oh, there came a bubble. I can still see some down in there. There come another one. So I can see them moving. They're moving side to side. Okay, I'm going to move this around just a little bit here. I can feel the heat coming off the other one over there. There's a bubble there, and I can't coax him out. I think it just moves around. Okay. See here. Probably should be doing this with a dotting tool and not a dissecting tool. I can see the bubble, but it just does not want to come out. And I just dumped it all over everything. I knew I would. Surprised that I got the first one done and didn't do all that. Okay. I'm going to change gloves. Alright, let me get some clean gloves on here, guys. Alright, now, see if I can get a hold of this sucker here. I think I need to put a little more down in there. Try to get that off there a little bit. Okay. Now, I know there's probably still bubbles down in there. So we're just going to have to fix them when we get it done. So we're just going to fill this one on up. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more of them out. Okay. There we go. Alright. Now, spritz a little more alcohol in there. And we're going to work on this one. Okay. Now he should take the rest of this resin. Quite a bit. And you see that big bubble around there? Because you could see it fill up. But you didn't see it fill all the way to the edge. Because that's a bubble. This whole thing is a big bubble. Okay. Part of it came out there. Alright. See if I can get some of that bubbles to come out. Oh, we got a good sized bubble come out there. But then I think I sucked another one back down in there. Okay. There is a huge bubble down in there. Like, huge, huge. Wonder if I can do the resin this way. Or maybe if I can get it to touch all these spots. Then we can get some of the bubbles out. Okay, there's a bubble. Let's put some more resin down in there. Okay. You just got to get the bubble out and let it suck the resin back in there. Alright. There we go. Got a good bubble there. I can see it move. And there comes a little bubble. Okay. Oh, there's a little one. Try to do this without overflowing. Oh, I seen a bubble come out over here. Okay, put a little more resin in. Alright. Gotta have a long working resin for this thing. can't get this side to roll the way I want it to. Here we go. There came a bubble. And there's the heater kicking on. Okay, I can still see some down in there. There's a bubble. Come on, pop. Okay. I'll spritz a little alcohol on top of that. Alright, now let's roll it again. Okay. Can't tell if we've got any bubbles left down in there or not, guys. It would be awesome to have them all, but yeah, you know how it is. Put a little more resin down in there. Now, one more little rolly around, and then we'll take our tool, because I'm telling you, I still think that I've got some down in there. There's one. There's a bubble. Yeah, this is a job, isn't it? Just trying to get all these bubbles out of this thing. Because, I mean, you can't see, so you can't tell. I mean, you try. Let's put some more resin. So we're going to have to fill it up here in a minute. Okay. Now, last time around, if I got anything that I can dig out of there. I can't tell. I don't mind fixing little bubbles. It's the big bubbles that get on your nerves. And with this mold, you can't tell if you're going to have big bubbles, little bubbles. Who knows? Alright, guys, we're going to leave it at that. And we're going to finish off our resin here. So we don't have much left, but I think we've got enough to fill this up. Definitely 20 ounces. 20 ounces exactly. That's what you need for this. And hopefully when we demold it, we will be bubble free. But from the experience that I've seen everybody else have, that's highly unlikely. Okay, try to get all this out of here. Okay. One more more little scoop to clean this cup. And then we are done. Alrighty guys, we are going to let that cure up, and then we're going to come back and demold this sucker. So, we'll see. Fingers crossed, no bubbles. So, I'll see you guys at demold. Alright guys, these have cured up. Now the green's not cured. It was some leftover resin from another pour that I just poured on top of that yellow. And I also did some little tiny pieces in there for earrings. But I believe we can go ahead and pop these little ones out. Now I'm going to set those over to finish curing. So we'll get those after we fix everything up. And I think I'm going to put some posts on these. I might take some gold paint pen after I trim these up and make those into some earrings. They're not exactly the same though, are they? I thought they were the same, but they're a little different. Okay. I will make a second pair of them. And there is the pendant. I think I'm going to take the gold around it too. Put a flat back bell on it maybe. We'll see. Alright. Little butterflies. They're all the same. And it's just a yellow. So let's pop all these out over here. Because they are cured up. This way I don't lose them all. That is such a pretty color. Oops. Got you turned upside down. Okay. Now, I know there's bubbles in these because I've went around and I felt there's a bubble there. There's a bubble there. There's a bunch of bubbles in this one. There's one. Big one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. Just about every single one of those has a bubble. Alright, let's start with the top and work our way down. I don't think that's going to come off there. Alrighty. I'm going to have a lot of work to do on this little sucker. That big bubble. And that big bubble. And that big bubble. And that big bubble. Every single one of them on that one. A lot of bubbles. But we'll fix it. So the underside. As long as the top side comes out good, that side will be okay. Okay. Now here's our, getting that dried resin everywhere. There's our little star. I don't know, can y'all see the gold sparkle through it any? I can see a little, but not much. I still like the yellow. And like this is the snow, and this is the snow, and that's snow. We'll try to paint the rest of it green after we fix it. And we'll do that with each one of these pieces. Alright. See how bad this one is. A lot of little bubbles. There we go. Just little bubbles on this one. Huh, those aren't bubbles down in there. Now these are. So we'll fix all that. Okay, at least we don't have any on the top side. Okay. Now, you could leave it as just 2 pieces if you wanted. You don't have to do the whole thing. 20 ounces of resin is a lot to make 1 piece. You can do 10 ounces and just do those 2. Trying to get some of this off so it doesn't go flying at me like the others did. I don't think I'm going to get any more of that. Okay. I'll just have to get it off this way. Okay. Now, all these big bubbles. Let me get a hold of this. There we go. Not as bad as the first piece, I don't think. I mean, we can still fix them all. Bubble here, few here. So, okay. Not horrible. Alrighty. Turn that back right side up because we'll probably make a green one of those as well. Alright, and that's our snow. So I've got some painting to do. I think it's very, you could leave it white. I may just, no, I don't know. We'll see. But it is pretty. Very pretty. Kind of heavy. But at least no bubbles on the top sides. Alright guys, we will figure out what I'm going to do with this. And see, this looks like bubbles. I think it is bubbles, little micro bubbles on that top piece. Alright, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. We'll do it on a time lapse and I'll see you guys after. See you in a bit.
In Linda's room, the resin flows. Swirls of cheer where the magic grows. Gingerbread signs with a glossy shine. Santa's chimney sparkle in a line. Acrylic pens in steady hands. Final touches, dreams unplanned. Swirls of Christmas colors that...
Alright guys, so I got this done. And what I did is I fixed all the holes. And then I just took some rhinestones and glued them around it to be like little lights. I think it's pretty that way. I got a little baby rhinestone. Must have fell out of the box. But I think that's really, really pretty that way. I'm going to keep that for myself. I love that. Alright. Now, this was our yellow turtle. I just filled it up with some leftover resin from another. This is an Into Resin mold, which I do have a 20% discount code for any Into Resin molds. I love this little turtle. He's one of my favorites, if you can't tell. Alrighty. Look how cute he is. And you know, I think this is like fluorescent, so if you shine a light on it, it kind of glows. Because I noticed when I was fixing the tree, where I had dropped some of the yellow down in there, it kind of glowed in spots. So, yeah, I think that's what that is. I know it's a neon color. Let's see. It's a little place I can't. A little overage here. And it doesn't want to peel off, so we're going to cut it off. There we go. Otherwise, he's smooth on the bottom. Got that one. And there. Well, I think I got over a little bit all the way around him, didn't I? Almost. Let me get that little piece right there off. So hard to get around the legs. Okay, now, just about. There we go. Now he's cleaned up. All right, where'd I put the lid to this? Okay, now our little green ones. I bet these aren't the same either. I think they might be close enough. Wonder if I can just peel that off. Yeah. If it's thin enough, it'll just pop right off. If it's too thick, you gotta cut. Okay. I think I got one little area there that is going to have to be cut off. So it needs to be smooth. Well, maybe. It's so thin. Now, let's see about this one. Might be easier just to cut it all off, right? And then I'll mess it up if I do that. Let's just see if we can get this off. Sorry guys, I'm concentrating. Man, when they're that little, they're hard to get a hold of. And I need to clip that thumbnail because it broke on me the other day. Just haven't got around to doing my nails yet. Okay. Yeah, right. One's fatter than the other. So I may just put that stuff in a bin. Who knows what I'll do with it. Alright guys, I'm going to take some photos and then I will see you all for the next video. So, bye for now.